Ladies and gentlemen, what's up guys, this is PB. So today I was able to top at my locals at Sneak Peek, so I am going to do my Dark Magician deck profile. I did play 3 copies of Magician Souls, one of the best cards in Dark Magician, and 2 copies of Dark Magician. Honestly, 2 is probably the correct ratio. I've been playing 2 Dark Magicians in Master Duel in real life for almost a year. I'll say more than a half a year, and I never had a problem, so I think 2 should be the correct ratios. Then I did play 3 copies of Ash Blossom and Joy of the Spring. This is the best hand trap for the moment, and it does stop a lot of cards like Branded Fusion, and it does like stop things like what do you call it, Fonderies. It does stop a lot of decks, so it's really nice. We do play 1 copy of Timaeus the United Dragon. This card basically helps you out to make Dragoon. He is also really good underneath Skill Drain, and on top of that, you can just special summon this guy by sending 1 Dark Magician monster after you use their effects, or you can even just send Dark Magician to the graveyard, then special summon Dark Magician back to your board by using Eternal Soul, or you can even send something like Magician's Salvation after you set Eternal Soul. So a lot of people do think this guy is a -3, but you really don't go really minus with this guy, since Dark Magician is really good with the resource game. So he is good in a lot of different ways, so I do play 1 copy of him. Then we do play 3 copies of Magician's Rod. This is the best normal summon in Dark Magician. On top of that, if you do play Artemis the Moon Maiden in your extra deck, you could link Magician's Rod off. Then after when you end your turn, on your following turn, if you do add Eternal Soul or something like Soul Servant, you could just activate that card. On resolution, you could tribute your you could just go ahead and tribute your Artemis and add back your Rod to your hand. What is good about this is you could have a discard cost for Dragoon, or on the following turn you get to search another Dark Magician spell and trap card, and that is pretty big for Dark Magician, so he is really good in the deck. Definitely play 3 copies. Then we do play 2 copies of Illusion of Chaos. Illusion of Chaos, this guy lets you search whatever Dark Magician monster from deck to your hand, and if you do search Magician's Rod with Illusion of Chaos, basically you can search whatever Dark Magician card in the deck, so he's really nice. On top of that, you're going to be adding 1 card back on top of your deck on resolution. So if there is a card you want to have on the following turn, you can just put that on top of your deck and basically just don't search anything, and you could just draw into that. And also, you could ritual summon this guy by using Secrets of Dark Magic. I'm gonna show you guys that later. But if you ritual summon this guy, he could be a monster negate, and he also does special summon Dark Magician from graveyard after that, and he comes back to your hand. So like he could negate and comes back to your hand, and on the following turn you get to search again. So he's like so amazing. Then we do play 3 copies of Infinite Impermanence. This card is one of the best hand traps for the moment, so that's why we play it. We do play 3 copies of Skill Drain. Sometimes I do prefer Solemn Strike than Skill Drain, but for the moment, just format wise, Skill Drain is just better than Solemn Strike. Strike itself could hit cards in on your opponent's hand, or in graveyard, or on field, or it could even negate a special summon from the extra deck. So it's really good. But for the moment, because there's decks like Fonderies, there's also decks like Splight just came out, there's Tyrannus, there's a lot of decks that could just basically get shut off of this card. So like that's kind of why I do play this card. Then we do play 3 copies of Super Poly. Honestly, Super Poly is just busted in this format. Like, this card is probably the best card in this format. Like, since we got the new Garura card, you basically could just break any board with Super Poly, so it's really busted. You could break Splight's board, you could break Tyrannus board. There is a lot of things you could do with this thing. So I do play 3 copies. On top of that, if you want to go for game, if you do have Dark Magician and any other card that you could fuse into, you could attack with Dark Magician and another monster and fuse those to just go to, just to have game. So that is also kind of nice. Then we do play 3 copies of Preparation of Rites. This basically searches your Illusion of Chaos. But the thing is, if you do draw into multiple, you could try to bait out Ash. And if they don't even have Ash, you could just go ahead and use Magician Soul's effect. Send this card to your grave to draw a extra card. So it's really, really nice. Then we play 3 copies of Soul Servant. If you do have a Dark Magician on field or graveyard, you get to add any Dark Magician card from deck to your hand. So this card is amazing. Basically, it first does add the card on top of your deck, but after that you can just banish this card from your graveyard and you could draw into a card. If you have Magician Souls on the field, you could just go ahead and like send another card to draw a card. If they ash that, you could just banish this to draw another one. Or like there's multiple things you could do with this thing, so it's really, really nice. On top of that, if you do draw into multiple, you could set this card, and on end phase you could activate this to draw into a card you really need on the following turn. Okay. Then we do play 1 copy of Secrets of Dark Magic. This is a quick play fusion or ritual spell that could fusion summon on battle phase or ritual summon on battle phase. It could do a lot. On top of that, this card could actually help you out to summon Dragoon on your opponent's turn. This actually came up a lot in the tournament. So it is a card you want to play. Sometimes you could have a hand that you could just basically make Dragoon without Timaeus, so it's a card you want to be playing. Then we do play 1 Magician's Navigation. Honestly, you basically just set Eternal Soul from deck to your field. That's what this card only does, but by having this card on field, you could just pitch this to the graveyard with Magician Souls to draw a extra card, or if you have Timaeus, you can just send this to graveyard to special summon. So like there is a lot of ways to use this thing. On top of that, you get to search this card with Terraforming, so basically you'll have access with you're gonna have access to Eternal Soul with Terraforming, and that is one of the nicest parts. And we do play 3 copies of Secret Village of Spellcaster because it is a heavy spell-based format, and this card could shut off a lot of decks. Then we do play 2 copies of Dark Magical Circle. I'll say 2 is probably the correct ratio, so I'll just leave it at 2. But some cool things, after you use the first effect to look through your top 3 cards, if you do have something like Magician Souls, or if you could chain your Soul Servant to this, you could basically add any card on top of your deck, add that card to your hand, and after that, the cards that are the left 2 cards that you're going to add on to the top, you could draw into those. So it's kind of nice. Then we do play 2 copies of Eternal Soul. Basically, it's kind of 3 because you do play the Magician's Salvation, but 2 is good enough. Honestly, if you have this in skilled rating, you pretty much could win the game. Then we play 1 copy of Dark Magic Attack. This card is really, really amazing. The last matchup I played against Eldritch, and most times if you open up with this card, it is kind of a brick. You do not want to draw into this card, but I basically had Magician's Souls in my hand, and I had this card, so I was like, okay, special summon Dark Magician. Anything on resolution? Okay, Dark Magic deck. Got rid of every single card my opponent had set, and I went GG's from there. Yeah. And this card is also really, really good with Illusion of Chaos, because you could add Dark Magic Attack with Eternal Soul on end phase, and if you do have Illusion of Chaos, you could just search whatever card from deck to your hand and just return this card if you don't really need this card in your hand. So you can basically just loop this thing with Illusion of Chaos. There is a lot of things you could do with this thing, so it's really nice. On top of that, it is a searchable Harpy Sphere Duster. If they Solemn Judge with this thing, you could use Soul Servant to add it back to your top of your deck and just go ahead and use it again. So it's really crazy. Alright then, going to the extra deck. Going through the linked ones, we do play one copy of Artemis the Moon Maiden. Magistus Moon Maiden. Basically, we really never use her effect, but you use her to recycle Rod, and that's the only purpose. We do play one Relinquish Anima for going second. He actually does come up a lot. Then we do play one Imduct the World Chalice Dragon. You could link summon this guy by using Dark Magician, and on the following turn, you can use Secrets of Dark Magic to make Dark Magician the Dragon Knight or Dragoon. So he's really nice. Then we do play Gravity Controller. This guy is pretty darn insane with the new Super Poly target, Garura, Wings of Resonant Life discard. So you could Super Poly Garura to your extra monster zone. After that, you can just link it off, draw it into a card, and if your opponent has a negate, you can just go ahead and crash into that negate and activate his effect to bounce it. And you can force your opponent to use a negate, and after that, you're basically breaking their board by Super Poly, and you're also using one of your opponent's negate, so you pretty much could go like full combo, or you could just go ahead and do a lot of things, so it's pretty nice. We do play one copy of IP Masquerena, and one the Dark Charmer, one Nightmare Unicorn, one Celine, Queen of the Master Magicians. This card is really nice because you could special summon Dark Magician on your opponent's turn, or you could even revive your own Dragoon, so it's really nice when they get rid of it. One Gigantic Splite. Basically, it's a Ghost Reaper target in the side deck. One Mud Dragon of the Swamp. One Starving Venom. One Garura. And the Dark Magician fusion targets. A Dragon Knight, Dragoon, and Dark Magicians. Going to the side deck, we do play 3 copies of Ghost Reaper. This is probably the best side deck option against Splite, so that's why I added into the side. Then 3 copies of Evilly. Evilly Match is just so good against the Adventure package, so it's one of the things you want to play. This card actually gave me 2 tops because my opponent was playing the Adventure package, and they had the Adventure token. I activate this, and they need to banish every single thing they had, so it was like really, really nice. Then 3 Solemn Judgments for going first. Sometimes your opponent is just gonna side in a lot of back row removal, so it's kind of nice, and it is also really nice against back row decks. So it's one card you want to be considering to play. 2 copies of Twin Twisters, 2 copies of Token Collectors, and 2 copies of Dark Ruler No More. Alright guys, thanks for watching the video, and I will be leaving a comment, and I also do have my own channel, so if you could also subscribe to my channel, that helps a lot, and I hope you guys will have a wonderful day. Thanks for watching the video, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye.